Hello everyone! Today we're going to be jumping back into Standard with a ramp deck that's been fairly popular as of late. Now this deck, of course, revolves around trying to win the game via Worldsoul's Rage, which is a fantastic card that we've gotten from the most recent set. It deals X damage to any target, namely our opponent's face, but we can use it as removal, and then we get to put X land cards from our hand or graveyard onto the battlefield tapped. So, of course, we're taking advantage of this synergy to get a decently high X value, and if it's not high enough, bring back enough lands where we could fetch out more of our basics, and then go ahead and cast again for a higher value. Now, how are we going to cast this again? If we don't have it, we have a couple of ways of getting this back into our hand, whether it's Shigeki or the Colossal Sky Turtle. These two combo together very similarly to our Doppelgang deck, where notably we have also included a copy of Doppelgang in this deck as an alternate win condition. A couple other things to note: Nissa is very powerful in this deck because we are going to be hitting a lot of landfall triggers, and Aftermath Analyst puts in some serious work in the ramp department for us, especially if we play one or two of our lands here, and then we get them back, plus whatever we mill with that on a later turn. That's going to be really strong. Best piece of advice I'd have for you if you do decide to play this deck is definitely be aggressive with your ramping. Don't kind of sit back and wait for too long, because you might miss your opportunity to close out the game. Now at the top end of the deck we have Virtue of Strength. This is going to be a game-ending card. If we get this out onto the battlefield and we draw one of our win cons, we're going to be in a winning spot. And I think another noteworthy call out in this deck would be Turn the Earth. Now the flashback ability here does matter because a lot of the decks in Standard right now do have a mill win condition where they'll kill you either with Breach the Multiverse and Jace, or some other combination thereof. And this, on the turn that we would lose the game, we simply flash it back from our graveyard, we can gain some life, and then we can put a couple of cards from our graveyard back into our library, draw that card, and then potentially win the game. Now, since we get to pick the cards, if our library is empty, obviously we'll be picking some copies of Worldsoul's Rage if we have the mana to kill our opponent, or something else that could get us out of trouble. Aside from that, Ill-Timed Explosion is our main removal spell. It's like a board wipe for us, but it does depend on the card that we choose to discard. If we do choose to discard a creature, though, we have the potential to get it back with the sorcery side of Virtue of Strength, so it's not too bad. Now, as always, deck list is down in the description if you want to take a look yourself and get a better understanding of what all these cards are, but I think I'm going to hop right on into it. So if you have been enjoying my content, make sure you subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on my latest videos, and if you do enjoy this video, make sure you give it a like. Let's go ahead and see how this deck does. Alright, opponent going first. I don't think I want to keep this starting hand, so we will take the mulligan. This is alright, so we'll keep this. We'll get rid of the island. Keep the forest. And then we'll go ahead and fetch out an island for ourselves. And we don't have access to red yet. Let's go for Shigeki here. If he gets killed, he gets killed, but I think the ramp is going to be more important. That's fine. Again, we have ways to get him back. Interesting. Alright, well, here's our access to red. So let's grab ourselves a red land. And do I just want to grab Shigeki back? Honestly, I think that's going to be the play. Let's see, discard the Broker's Hideout. I'm fine with that being in our graveyard. We can Worldsoul X2, kill Ob Nixilis. X2. Kill you. Gain a little bit of extra life. I'll get a blue and a red land here. Oop, wrong order. That's my bad. We'll grab a green land instead. Now if we can find one more land, we're going to be in a really good spot. There are a couple of draws that would be pretty good for us. Theological Appraiser. Bloodtithe Harvester. A sweeper would be really good here. Otawara. Not bad. We'll play that out, get our Virtue. So we're looking at almost dying after this turn. Anything that hits face, any burn spell, should kill us, but if not, Doppelgang will help us stabilize next turn. Not any burn spell, I guess we can survive play with fire. Theological Appraiser. For another Bloodtithe Harvester. So I think we do Doppelgang X5. And then turn the Earth will need to gain 2 life to not die. We can copy some lands here, but I do think a Shieldred of our own would be good. We'll take double Appraiser. I'll take a Harvester. And honestly, I think I'll just copy some of our forests. There's our 1 green mana. Keep that one. Bunch of triggers here. And more green mana for us. Destroy Shieldred, that's fine. Let's go turn the Earth. Our graveyard. We're just gonna put Worldsoul's Rage back in. Gain the 2 life. We can flash it back to gain another 2 life if we need to. Alright, let's see. Let's go Archaeologist here. And we might as well channel the Shigeki. 2. We'll grab those 2. And I think we'll end our turn here. With Turn the Earth again, we're going to be in a strong spot. We have adequate blockers. We're not going to die to a single removal spell. And then next turn, our Bloodtithe Harvesters are gonna start killing our opponent's board, and then we have Doppelgang to make our board better as well. I mean, we also have lethal on board depending on what our opponent does here about blocks. They're gaining a lot of life, though. Gotcha. So Turn the Earth is going to be really important for us here, surviving the Vran trigger. I think we actually have to use Turn the Earth on our opponent's turn, just in case they have some sort of removal spell for themselves. Yeah, it triggers once each turn. So we do have to do this now. Let's throw these guys back into our deck. I think we'll gain some more life. We'll just put the Haunted Ridge back in our... Actually, I don't think we need to put anything back in anyone's deck. There we go. We're gonna keep the Blood Tithe Harvesters, since we like their activated ability more. We'll have to draw here. Worldsoul's Rage. So, I mean, we've just won the game. I'm not gonna count, but we probably have 37 mana, or we do not. Alright, so then instead, we'll just go in this order. We'll lose the 2. Or we won't even lose it. Alright, on the play here, I think we'll keep, but we're keeping just because of Nissa at this point. I also like the double Worldsoul Rage, but we don't have any lands in our graveyard. We're going to be relying pretty heavily on Aftermath Analyst here. Fortunately, we do find another one. Well, I mean, that's just about as good as a hit as we could have gotten. So next turn we can play another one, or we could play out Nissa. Just based on our opponent's deck, they could be running bounce spells. It's not going to be really worth it to go Worldsoul on 1. Swing for 1 here, probably. Alright, Kellen is fun, but I'm going to play the Nissa here instead. And then I won't attack with the Aftermath Analyst. I don't think it's going to matter that much in the end. So now all we want to do is draw a land here. We can draw a land and then use Aftermath Analyst's ability. We'll have some really solid ramp going on here. Unfortunately, I will be taking all of this. No blocks. Down to 11. We do find the land, though. So let's go here. Add green. Activate this. Go green, red, green. We honestly might be able to do it again, which I think would be pretty fun with our other Aftermath Analyst. So let's get as much value as we can right now. Yeah, okay, so let's go ahead and do this. Analyst. It's 2 extra lands. Activate this ability. Even more landfall triggers. Go here. Green, red. We're gonna use Worldsoul's Rage next. Okay, let's do X4. We'll kill the glyph here. They can get another schooner, that's fine. Blue. I think we're gonna investigate here. Red. Green. Draw that card. And Virtue of Strength is going to be really strong for us. I'll just attack there. We also gained a ton of life by grabbing these lands back. was a really powerful turn for us. So next turn, we're going to play out Virtue of Strength and then just cast Worldsoul's Rage for X equals a ton. Surge Engine is a really good card, but I think it's too slow. Gonna accrue, yep. We'll take 5. Or 6. Makes sense. Down to 11. That's fine. And another land for us. Just what I like seeing. We'll grab green mana here. And we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Virtue of Strength. Now let's see what we can cast here for ourselves. Yeah, that's more than enough. We'll just pick, I don't know, 22. And that's a good game. Alright. So we do have access to all of our colors here. I don't mind this. I think we'll keep. This will be fine. We'll grab ourselves a forest. They'll give us access to turn the earth on turn 2. Not that we would cast it then. Alright, so I think we'll go red here, play out the Aftermath Analyst. If we really have to, we can get a land back with our Sky Turtle. But it doesn't look like that's going to be the case, so that's good for us. Let's see, I do want double blue more than I'll want double red. So I'll attack here. Next turn, we could get 3 extra lands onto the battlefield if they don't kill the Analyst. Which, it's fine that they do. Not too concerned. Ill-Time Explosion will be nice for us. I think we just hold up Colossal Sky Turtle next turn, though. Yeah, so we'll use the Theater. We can get a second mountain, because we still have that island in hand. I do try and take a fairly even distribution of our basics. Definitely lean heavier towards taking forests when you can. Okay, yep. Turn the Earth is going to really help us out here.
Phyrexia's plans are already in motion.
Yep, this is fine.
I know where to find all the answers.
Let's see. We don't have enough lands where I want a Sky Turtle right now to get back the Analyst. Though we will next turn. So we're going to be looking at a very strong turn. So yeah, I'm thinking end of this turn, we'll Sky Turtle, get back the Analyst, and then next turn, 6 mana, get them all back. We just want to make sure that we're not close to being milled out at that point, keeping an eye on our library, because Turn the Earth is going to be our saving grace at the end there. Also, we don't have that many great creatures for our opponent to steal with Virtue. And even if they do steal our creatures, Ill-Timed Explosion should be able to deal with that pretty well. Maybe mill us for 3 again. Maybe go for the 15. If they have a second Jace, yeah.
Retreat is the sensible nothing.
We do have to be a little bit careful here. At 30 cards, if they play a Jace, I might want to... Okay, I think we're okay. They'll mill us for 4 again. I'm honestly pretty happy about this. I can return that, but instead, I'm just going to grab you. Island. Aftermath Analyst. And now our opponent is playing a mill deck, so there's no reason for me to pop this just yet. We'll wait. If they try and use a removal spell, then I'll use this. But maybe we can use this to block some incoming damage, or something like that first. A lot of potential utility. Then after that, Worldsoul's Rage for some big number is going to be the go-to plan. 22 cards left. I still want to be careful if our opponent comes close to milling us out. Let's see. Yeah, looks like we are going to have some very significant ramp going on next turn. See, both Sky Turtles. I do think we want to find either like a Virtue or Shigeki to fix a lot of our problems with getting milled out. We have a couple of ways to avoid being milled out. Alright, so Path to Peril. We'll just activate this ability. Again, 22 cards. They probably won't be able to mill us out this turn, especially with the mana that they currently have. So it was worth it to keep the Aftermath Analyst on the battlefield here. And here we go. This actually is going to thin down our deck a little bit as well. So let's see what we have left to draw. Yeah. Shigeki would be a really good pull here. No more basics. Virtue of Strength, I think, would just win us the game. So I'd love to see that. Alright. Will not complain about Shigeki. Let's see what the best way to do this is. Let's grab 2. We'll grab you and you. Now, this is going to set us up for a pretty strong turn. Alright, I am going to be a little bit greedy here. And I will waste 1 mana to get Shigeki back. Then from here... we'll play out our Virtue. Which gives us 15 mana. We don't have the blue for Doppelgang if we get that back. So I think we're just going to go ahead and pass. If our opponent mills us out, we have turned the Earth to get around it. And then Worldsoul's Rage next turn with all of our lands should be able to close out the game. If not, between Sky Turtle and Shigeki and everything in our graveyard, we've got options. And we can pull stuff back. Yep, Faithful Mending. That's fine. Okay. Nice. Gonna grab the Jace and mill us for 15. Put a stop on our upkeep. This is why I love Turn the Earth.
Flesh.
There's no mill deck that's going to be able to beat us.
More efficient solution. I will shatter your.
Oh, that's cute. Okay. I mean, I'll use it now. Why spend mana on my upkeep? Let's grab a Doppelgang. Worldsoul's Rage. And, let's see, what else do I want? We'll grab Virtue. It doesn't really matter what I grab. I mean, might as well be nice back. Two treasures for us. Our opponent is tapped out. We flash it back from our graveyard. And now we'll pick the same things, or whatever I see first that I like. We'll take a Sky Turtle. It really doesn't matter what we grab here. I'll grab a Virtue. Nice and easy. Move to my turn. Draw. Notably, we do not lose the game. Move to our main phase. And, I don't know, 30? That should be enough. Good game. Alright everyone, I hope you enjoyed. So as we were able to see there, this deck is capable of doing some pretty crazy things. With Nissa and Aftermath Analyst and enough lands in our graveyard, we can kind of chain that back and forth, get a couple of triggers, and ramp a whole bunch as early as turn 4, which is absolutely crazy. We have ways to loop the cards we want back out of our graveyard and into our hand with Shigeki and Colossal Sky Turtle, and of course our all-star in this deck, the one-of copy of Turn the Earth, bane of all mill decks. Again, even if this isn't in our hand, it has flashback, so this is a great way to go ahead and stop mill decks from beating you. It buys you that one extra turn, and a lot of times, that one extra turn is the only one you need with all the mana that we have in this deck. And with mill decks, of course, putting lands in our graveyard for us, which is exactly what we want to be seeing. So yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, make sure you give it a like, and if you have any ideas for another deck that you'd like to see me play, why don't you let me know in a comment down below. I'll see you all next time.